expectations because, it's business. And then you have to say, okay, this is the line. Business is business. Now we go home. This is family, right? So it took some time.
You set your boundaries. Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, and I'm laughing because it reminds me of something when you just say you have to, it's communication. And at the same time, for instance, in my case, when I met my husband, I was 16, graduated at 17, and immediately after I got married. But before I got married, I told my husband, my boyfriend then, I love you very much. Like, I'm willing to get married, but I don't know how to clean. I don't know how to cook. And I'm not planning to be learning that right away. That's not what I want to do. I just want to be your wife. And so whenever we got married, we understood that from day one, meaning that if I don't clean or if I don't do anything that I like helping him, like being the housewife and so on, no, we both work together. So that communication was established since I was his girlfriend before marriage. That's how I established a conversation when I hire him. We work for the company, but we don't take any work to the house.
That's incredible. That's great. That's a good advice. Now, you're not going to school today, but again, I think that you are very extremely smart person. How do you increase your intellectual capital?
How do I encourage my intellectual capital?
Yes. How do you increase it? How do you enlarge it?
How do I increase it? Through education, as I said, in mentors. I mean, I still have mentors. And, it's like you have to keep on learning from others, associating from people that really know more than you. And, of course, mentors. You have mentors. We all do. And great friends that you can pick up the phone and call for an advice. And that's how you do that.
Yeah, I read that you got the chance to meet and talk to Warren Buffett, one of the billionaires of the world, a great individual. Is that accurate?
Absolutely, yes. I was privileged through education. I was actually, how would I call it, and how this happened. It was an MBA, accelerated MBA to scale and grow your business through a program paid by Warren Buffett, which is, so that's how that happened. I graduated top of the class. There are 10,500 students, business owners, graduated throughout the United States. And I was one of the top graduates in the entire program in the nation. So they chose me to be the poster child in America as a Goldman Sachs 10,000 small business owner and graduate. And through that process, grow my business. In 2013, I was named Fortune Most Powerful Woman Entrepreneur, not Latina, just Fortune Woman Entrepreneur in America. I ranked number 7. And I had the privilege to meet Warren Buffett, talking to Warren Buffett. I've been able to attend to different meetings, able to ask questions. It's such a phenomenal. Mr. Buffett is just one of a kind, good-hearted entrepreneurs and successful entrepreneurs I've ever met.
Absolutely. And one of the things that strikes me about him is his commitment to give away so much to charity. That's something that, yes. I mean, it could really, if we learn from his and some others, examples like Bill Gates, for instance, and many others, the world, the planet will be totally different. That's something that we should admire, respect, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So what or who would be the person beyond your family, anybody in your family, that you admire the most in the world?
In the world, one of the persons that I admire the most.
Could be a figure. Could be a figure, I mean, yeah.
Profile, yeah, your profile. Well, that would be him. That would be Warren Buffett. I admire him. I also even Oprah Winfrey. I admire her.
Right.
But, there's so many role models out there that are very admire, and I feel that they're doing the right thing, and I take pride for having the opportunity to meeting these phenomenal figures.
Absolutely. It is amazing. Your personal story is really something that we should talk, and what a privilege being talking to you. Now, do you have a habit that you consider fundamental in your personal growth?
Okay. Many times reading, it's a good hobby. Walking is a very good hobby that helps me. But the most important thing is spending time with my mom. I mean, taking her to things, spending time with my family, of course, and the hobby of taking a vacation once a year with the entire family, or even just spending afternoons with my mom. And I've been able to do that. It's a great hobby, because not only that you have accomplished so many great things in life, but then you can talk to your parents about it. That's a good hobby. Never forget where you came from, ever, because that is important. Even I, love speaking in schools, universities throughout the world, sharing my story. That to me, people ask me, what do you make out of it? They're not, why do you do this? And I just feel that it's a fulfilling opportunity that you are giving back to your community. So that's a good hobby.
Yeah. No, that's very interesting. So you go around the world giving speeches. Do you have a booking agent or something, or they just invite you and you go?
No, I received so many invitations throughout the year. And I have an assistant, actually 2 assistants in my office, and they help me many times, to put things together. And there's so much demand that sometimes I just feel like, my goodness, I'm just a business owner. Of course, I'm the first Latina in the waste management industry. I have a great story, but it's a big demand. I feel so bad many times when I can't make it I can be in 2 places at the same time. Like, I'm in Georgia, I have to be in Washington, I have to be in Chicago, I have to be in San Diego, I have to be in Palo Alto and San Francisco. I'm going to, many times you can't be flying from New York. I mean, like, for instance, I had a presentation in New York, but then I had another one in the morning in San Francisco. It's like going from one end to the other end of the map. But, it takes Maria to do that.
Yeah, of course. So time, you said that being prepared, you don't believe in luck, that opportunity meets preparedness. So you got to be ready when the opportunity knocks on your door. Do you think today, 2019, that still is there a space to launch a waste management company? Or it's too late? The space is totally full. Don't even try.
There's always trash. Everybody generates trash. Recycling is a good opportunity. Porta potties is a good opportunity. Anywhere in the world that you are, it's a necessity. And the money in that industry is large. It has a lot of potential. Just know it's hard. It's difficult. It is very logistical. But if you have the passion for whatever it is, make it happen. I mean, to me, the sky is the limit.
If you have a huge billboard in the busiest corner of the city, your city, what message would you put on it, beside your business name, of course? What message would you put in it so people get inspired?
That makes me laugh because there are 6 billboards in every corner of my city put by the Houston Community College. And my picture is on them, and it says on it, education can never be taken away from you. Follow your dreams, María Ríos.
Oh, so there are 6 billboards today in Houston, correct?
Yes, in Houston.
With your picture, and it says, what does he say again?
It says to follow your dreams. Education can never be taken away from you. There are several ones, and in every one of them I have different messages. And I was recognized by Houston Community College as a great alumna of the college and role model for other women. And so they decided that it's important for me to be on billboards. And I am. So I have.
So you are, you're an inspirational figure. That's so nice. And 2 things before we go. Where, from whom, how did you get this drive? Because you say things that are essentially very difficult to achieve. However, when they come from your mouth, your voice, it sounds so simple, easy. Where do you get that drive from?
I believe it's in my genes from my parents, my mom and my dad. From early age, I remember them very involved. They had a farming, they cultivated different kinds of produce in the farm, cattle and all kinds of things. And so I remember they're always doing things for others and providing jobs to the other people and opportunities and giving back to schools to different things in there. So when you see your parents doing this, maybe they feel that in you since you remember, because that's all I can remember. They do it. As I said, from where we started the conversation, I saw them being their own boss. So when I got here to America, and I wanted to have my own business, and that's what I went to school for. I went to get a business education, and that's why I went into the business, of course.
I never asked this question, but I was listening to you, and I would like to ask you, what's the difference between destiny and free will?
Well, destiny is you're destined to do something, of course, the meaning of that. But free will is, you have open space to follow your dreams and work hard, get that education, and make things happen. Versus destiny, you're destined to do this, but then if you don't put the passion and the work behind it, I don't see both together. So that's the difference. You need to really work for it, but you're passionate about it, and just make the destiny to be for real.
Absolutely. And I always ask this question almost at the end of the conversation. Seneca is a Roman philosopher, and one of his books, he says something like, life is long if you know how to use it. Life is long if you know how to use it. What's the first thought that it comes to your mind after you listen to this phrase?
Okay. Well, my life has always been and always will be about my family and my business. I mean, I created the most outstanding and wonderful, life. And we don't take anything for granted. I mean, that's what comes to my mind. And I wouldn't have it any other way different.
Right. Now, what would be your message to the listeners? Something that comes from your heart, from María Ríos' heart.
From my heart, my message would be to the listeners is to, just first and foremost, follow your passion. And don't let anybody stop you from your dreams. It doesn't matter if you are, like in the early stage in life, middle stage in life, any stage in life. It's never too late to accomplish anything in life. Because if you fulfill something that you had in mind and you make this happen, then it'll make you a happier person. It'll fulfill the dream that you had for a long time ago, or you just started